eyes are eyes that are generally trained on European matches. A bit of an upset for Luminosity, coming in as the #1 seed, of course, with the numbers. But then you could also put in the 8th seed. But here we go. LG with Cold and Fawn starts off with the pistol kills. Pit going to get 2 of his own.
Yeah, right back and forth trade. Pit has been, for me, one of the standout players, if not the most impressive player today in this tournament. Let's see if that continues. He has been taken down. It's on XP3, a beautiful headshot from Steel. I think Luminosity with a point to prove here after that demolishing on Overpass. It's the best possible way to start things off. Of course, they will be on the CT side as this was Mythic's choice of map.
Yeah, Luminosity is really going to want to start off strong. That is for sure. They need to set the pace going into this one, and that'll be Mythic. Unable to plant the bomb there, and we'll just go in for some P250. So we might actually see the Galils, and I mean, usually like Galils smoke, Galils 1 AG into that 3rd round as they're going to try to... Oh, that's a nice little set smoke. That's going to push Steel completely off his angle. He'll take a couple shots in with that P90. Now they're going to double up on Checker, but Fergit's completely blind, and I wonder if he even knows that they've crossed. 4 people have gone in, and Anchor will actually get Steel, who is in Checker. They'll find Fur. I don't know. Does the call not come in? XP3 was kind of slow to check back the other way. And now, once again, a player coming through the vent. So 2 into Checker, 2 in the site here for Mythic. But they have got the bomb down, which will now mean a pretty healthy buy going into round 3.
Yeah, he raised a really good point there. I think it's XP3 that was kind of napping after the frag came in from the massive Fur. And I agree. He just kind of checked around there and just gets wrecked. So I was a bit surprised by that, honestly. And that could have been a key moment in the round. If XP3 comes round, gets the frag, there's a potential they can pick up the FAMAS and do some work with it. As it stands, though, bomb goes down from Mythic, and that was pretty much quest complete as far as they're concerned. They did completely throw in the eco there. And now we see the AKs with the Galil. Plenty smokes to play with. So, Luminosity Gaming with 3 SMGs. This could be a bit of a sticky situation because all Mythic have head armor.
Yeah, those SMGs will lose that potency, but of course it's a round where afterwards you can generally get another decent buy after the fact if you're Luminosity, but can they actually? Yeah, they only lost 1 person in that last round, so they should be alright as long as, if, you know, things get bad in this round for Luminosity, as long as they can probably try to save that M4 and the FAMAS, or at least one of them. They'll be having another go at a rifle round, so a little bit of high risk, high reward play coming out for Luminosity into this round. What ground has Mythic really been able to make, though? They have XP3 up over the boost, so there's, I guess, some semblance of mid-control there. They want to work their way into the vents. But Fur is inside of them, and Steel right below them with the P90. Fur, though, going to get caught dropping that smoke down. Devilwalk finds 2 kills just like that. And now that is ground gained. Fallen going to go out very, very quickly through that smoke. He finds 1. With that MP7 and actually bolts with the UMP to get another. So a 3-on-3, but it's a retake scenario here. Only Colds with the defuse kit.
How the hell did Fallen get that frag and then escape with his life? I have no idea. That was
the
pretty
power
crazy.
Of smokes.
Yeah. The power of believing as well, I guess. Here come the flashes. This is still going to be a very difficult retake. I say that as Cold Zera puts the bullet firm between the eyes of Lex. Pushes onto the site. The issue is the bomb's ticking down, and all 3 players are picked off from Mythic. It's going to be close, but I think this is going to get defused. Indeed it will. Luminosity Gaming hit their 3rd round, and that is a round that Mythic will be kicking themselves over. Everything was in their favour.
Man, that's rough. And that's when those missile crates kind of... You hate to have them, right? Because he clearly sees the barrel of Colds. I can't quite remember who was in the site at this point for Mythic, but he clearly sees the barrel of Colds coming in through from CT. He wants to take a shot, but he knows he doesn't have really too much hope of spamming, and then Colds goes to cross. You can't quite line it up. He starts shooting into the missile crates right in front of him, and Colds is, you know, now that he's the person running in, re-peeking in on the headshot ledge, there's no chance of the player in sight, and that was just some smooth operations for Luminosity. But XP3, he's had a couple big explosive rounds with these pistols, some nice flick shots to get some 2Ks, and here he'll do it again. Will this actually be perhaps their first round? They've taken a lot of AKs back, and they planted the bomb with decent post-plant positions. There's just no armor on everybody, and a few people low is the one worrying factor here.
Misplay from Bolts, I've got to say as well. As soon as you see the P250 and you know the Tech 9's rushing in, to pull out a Molotov and try and throw it around the corner, like, that got him killed. He was caught with the Molotov out in his hands, and that will give Mythic their first round. I say that. I mean, they lost a 3v3 retake last time. This time Steel's all by himself, so it's not like he's going to try and put down some damage and he gets picked off from Devil Walk. So yeah, Bolt, if Bolt stays alive with the assault rifle there, keeps his Molotov maybe until the cavalry arrives, there's nothing wrong with actually just backing away and giving up that site. You know, if you're not entirely sure, you can throw the Molotov from a more safe position. So as soon as he dies, that's it. Mythic have the round, and there we go. Game well and truly on again.
It even started off awkward for Luminosity. They were going in, they wanted to go for the long-range click pop flash into A main. It actually blinded the player who was first in line, so he stopped. And then another player went in by himself. So the trade wasn't there, and that allows XP3 to grab maybe more than he should have. And Mythic's on the board. And here towards the squeaky door. It will go 1-for-1, but that will, again, always favor that T side as they get into the 4v4. And they're all pretty healthy, and they all have a decent amount of utility and time.
Yeah, lots of time left on this clock, and the fact it's gone a 1-for-1 allows Mythic to really try and mind game out the Brazilians. The fact they've just picked up another frag is huge. Fallen. Not too sure I like that push. I mean, I guess maybe the desperation play comes in. You've just lost 2 players and you're trying to get some information, maybe try and answer back with a couple of frags, but in doing so, you give your life away and you give this bomb site away as well. So Mythic will have their second round, barring another huge play from Luminosity. And the economy is not even good for the CTs. I'd like to see them just pull back and save these weapons. Steel has the right idea. I think for maybe looking for a couple of exit frags, but he gets picked off, and that's a FAMAS that would have been huge going through into the next round. Oh my goodness, they saved nothing. That's brutal.
That is brutal. Back. Not sure exactly why Alexa's typing that. I guess there was a nice shot coming out. So 3-2 right now. Money is broken, as you said. Brutal that they can't save any of those weapons. So coming into round 6, you're going to look for Mythic. Probably just play it a little safe. Don't want to run into any pistols. I mean, there are still some P250s that can be dangerous. And it might be... Is it going to be more A aggression from Luminosity? They seem to do it on the last pistol round. Now they'll just put 2 there. A 2-1-2. As for maybe with the flash going in, no, just going in dry, and Devil Walk will spray both Steel and Fur. Stop laughing when I say that. I don't know what else to call it.
I wasn't necessarily laughing at your choice of words, just the fact that he went, screw this noise, Leroy! It just runs into like 4 assault rifles.
It was so good back in the day. Not actually that funny after rewatch it though, interestingly enough.
It's a classic though.
It was, yeah, it's definitely, will always remain a classic. But if you showed it to someone now, they'd be like, eh? So
especially if they're like three years old, they'll be like, what?
Yeah,
back in the day was all the hype.
Bolts will find a kill. Is he in a position where he can find a gun? It doesn't look like it. He almost nearly brings down another, and that might actually push Anger back, who will not take that turn towards middle. He'll keep going out towards the safety. Pith is already kind of working on clearing up respawn and checking angles, and whoa, quite a flick over to Cold. AK out of the picture, and Bolt's unable to pick up anything. So, denied saving once again.
At least he got chicken, though. Now that reference may be lost on a lot of people. 3 for 3, either way. And an AWP in the hands of Mythic, not the same for Luminosity, who are hanging on by a thread now. Look at that bank balance as well for Mythic. Couple players around the 10k mark. Anger and Pit both up there, so rebuy imminent, even if Mythic do lose this round. Whereas if Luminosity lose this round, backs against the wall once again. Actually, Joe, this could have been a lot worse for Luminosity if Mythic picked up that 3v3 retake round. This could be like 4-2, 5-2 kind of scenario right now for the T's.
Oh no, the run boost doesn't quite pan out. The person goes flying into the ground. So a little bit of miscommunication there. Not miscommunication, I guess just more like not quite executed correctly. That run jump does take a bit of practice. Deal towards the headshot box. Will he actually try to peek XP3? Maybe try to peek him after... Oh, but the flashes come in. I thought Steel might want to try to peek after he heard that op shot, but the wall of smoke goes down, the flashes comes out, and Devil Walk will be the one to open up the round. He's been opening up rounds, this Devil Walk guy. Playing really well today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One point was on like 20 frags last. That's a beautiful pop flash. That is absolutely on point from Fallen. He is going to get taken down, but the bomb has been dropped. That's vital information. And we're 25 seconds now. LG know exactly what the play is from Mythic. It may not matter though, it's all on Devil Walk, and he just wants to save. Huge round for Luminosity. That was a pressure cooker round, and they did come out on top. coldzera has been snaking his way by to 10 for 4, and he was eerily quiet, I have to say, on Overpass, so it's good to see him stepping up now.
Yeah, that round pretty much. I mean, Devil Walk opens it up, gets that man advantage. Fallen makes a massive play with that pop flash from that sort of, I think what the snacks position is that gets called a lot. Flashes in to B main, sprays down 2, that evens it right back up. Now time's getting low. You've just lost 2 players. The pressure's on Mythic. They try to make a move. Cold is there to intercept them, and the round falls apart for Mythic. And now we're into another one. Op for AKs. All utilities still there for Mythic, as they had just won 3 in a row. And on that T side, 1 round lost, not enough to quite reset. And Luminosity, they're gonna go. They're like, all right, so that run boost, let's forget about that and just do it the old-fashioned way. And no one close enough for Mythic to have heard it either way, so they'll be all right. Bolt's in a very strong position right now.
It takes a big person to admit defeat. You got wrecked off the run boost, just go for the standard one instead. And they're okay. That grenade, though, I think from the angle that's came in at, I feel XP3 knows there's someone up on boost. Look at that. Because typically if it's going to bank off the wall, it'll be lower than that and it wouldn't go as deep. So I think that pretty much just gave away the boost, that one grenade. That could be huge, actually, you know, for Luminosity Gaming. You can see they instantly peek it. They just know he's there. The issue is they weren't able to do anything about it, and the crossfire is perfect from Luminosity. And they still retain the 4v2 advantage nonetheless. Here we go, switching it on board with Pit as he gets fragged. It's all on XP3. He's been flashed and finished off. So, good hold from Luminosity, but for a couple seconds there, I thought it was going to go from bad to worse for the Brazilians.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even though I guess the position is given away, it forces the players to... That's not really the place you want to be forced to check when you come out. And then he gets shot down because he's looking up towards the boost, of course. A player coming out of the squeaky door for Mythic gets shot down, so LG are able to still stay alive through that one. And Mythic not quite out of it yet in terms of their money. They will buy up for AKs, nades, and a Tech 9 coming in through this round again. Fur is, has rather made the smart decision to fall back on 8 HP. That grenade won't be taking him into the next life, so it remains a 5-on-5, but some good early damage done from Mythic.
Man, coldzera moves to 14 for 4. Nearest player on his team's on 4 frags. It just goes to show how much of a one-man show this has been so far on Cash. And there he is, speak of the man himself. Gets another frag. First down, Lower Steel also gets tagged. I think that was a grenade that bounced on top of him. coldzera has been silenced here from XP3. That gives them a real opportunity now from Mythic's perspective to keep in contention here on Cash. A pretty even map across the board, I'd say, between the CT and Ts.
Beautiful.
Look at this, they're boosting out, aren't they? Back into mid.
Yeah.
Selling the fake. Now, the positions of the CTs, they could still lock this down. They have a player on truck that's going to be falling with the AWP, and they still have Bolts, who is in MBK spot. So it's still going to be rough, but the fact that Bolts has fallen down makes this a one-pronged defense from Fallen. He's picked himself up one, looking for a second, just slightly off with his aim. And now it's all on Steel and Fur to try and retake this site.
So I thought that was about to be a disaster for Mythic. They were all going towards the B site. They were completely smoked off. There were actually 3 players in there for Luminosity Gaming, but then Mythic makes the heads-up play to boost back out those vents, go towards the middle. They rejoined up with XP3, who was holding out the headshot box in middle, or the white box, depending on what you want to call it. And they're able to completely change things around. They even had a player coming up through A main, so it was a beautiful split onto the A site, which only had 1 person defending it. Another one was a truck, since they had actually rotated over, leaving the 2 and B for Luminosity. So Mythic just jukes them up right there and gets a well-deserved round. But 2 guns are actually saved for once on the side of Luminosity Gaming.
Gotta love Fallen's M4A4. His howl is named in the last 10, I trust. Accurate. Very accurate. 5 and 6 currently he's at. Normally expect an AWPer to have better stats than that, but honestly the way that coldzera's been playing, you don't necessarily need him to be hitting every single shot. But even with coldzera's brilliance, they only find themselves a round ahead. Stacking into vents are LG. A position that Snacks uses so well on Cash for VP. and Fur is in there right now, one of the star players for Luminosity. The grenades come through, not quite connecting. It's the CTs who've come off the worst for wear in these early trades, but still all 10 players remain. I say that as Lex gets picked off.
Yeah, was that Lex trying to, I guess, getting pushed? He was crossed over to the right side of the mid garage, so he'll go down. XP3 is there with an op, but does he really want to try to peek into Fallen, who on the headshot box will hit the easy shot? Pit completely blind. Very nice flash by Fur. And earlier on in the round, you saw Mythic throwing the Molotovs into that first kind of cheeky corner to the right of the exit there into B, where we saw that pop flash from... Who actually... Was that Fallen earlier on that threw that beautiful pop flash?
Yes,
That's obviously still fresh in the minds of Mythic, as they're putting quite a bit of resources to make sure no one was standing there. But unfortunately, before they could really do anything, knowing that position was then clear, things fell apart in middle.
That round kind of fell apart for Mythic. Started decent enough, but ended with a bang. And I'm curious to see as well, you know, just kind of going back for those of you that have just joined us, it seems like we've jumped up quite a bit after Dubai finished. If you missed the first map of Overpass, Mythic were very aggressive on their CT side, and it was really enjoyable to watch. I'm hoping they play a similar style here on Cash, because mid control is so important. If you go for counter boosts and you try and push through onto B and things like that, you can definitely reap the rewards. So I'm hoping we see more of that from Mythic. This round, though, as I'm speaking, waffling on, it is just pretty much an eco from Mythic. You're not expecting them to do a great deal from this. Bomb plant would be fantastic, but they're already getting tagged as they push out of main.
Yeah, this doesn't look like it's going to end too well, or even start too well for Mythic. Well, living a little bit longer than I thought they would. The most half cleared, still Luminosity able to gun them down, and there they go, trusting the last 10 bullets. Lucky to have the A4s there. Actually, 2 A4s. I don't know if one of those would drop or both players actually utilize it. I'm actually going to check that out. But of course, no one in spawn actually stands with their rifle out, so we'll have to do it later on. The double op coming out, Cold Zero, will pick it up. The dude has, he's not been living up to his name. He's been pretty hot here in the second map on Cash. One might even say radioactive.
Damn.
I'm done.
Damn.
I feel like I have to apologize for that. I'm sorry. Going into round 12.
Be kind of worrying for his teammates if he stood next to a radioactive dude?
Yeah, it's probably wouldn't be great.
See, at first I thought he went that route because he had like a radioactive M4, you know, the skin. But then quickly
I went
noticed
for Cash because it's supposed to be Chernobyl.
Yeah. Well, either way, so far Mythic have been coming out second best. It's a map, of course, that you can get streaks on from the T's perspective. Once you break that CT economy, it's very hard to lock onto the sites. You pretty much have to stack sites. And there's XP3. He will take down the talisman of Coldzera. The 16 for 6 man is silenced momentarily. Devilwalk is going to eviscerate Fur as well. This is a good entry into the site for Mythic. With the bomb planted as well. This could be their moment. Bolts is pushing through aggressively. His teammates are right behind him. XP3 misses the upshot, although it was definitely not an easy one to land. Smoke was down, enough to choke on. And Bolts has somehow maneuvered himself in. That's a fantastic flashbang. Devilwalk misses the first shot, but his teammate is there, and it will be Pit once more to pick up his double, and Mythic clutch just about onto that 5th round.
Yeah, and that's very important, because then it starts to get out of hand if you start going 8-4 instead 7-5 is very, very different, and already taking a look at the CTs, they will have another rifle round, but here, now, they're going to be broke if they happen to lose, so a very important round for Mythic, and that could push it to 7-7. If Mythic get this, it'll have to wait until round 15, more than likely, to figure out who will actually win the half, as Cash is one of those maps that's very, very even, 8-7 for the CTs or for the Ts, especially depending on the matchups between the two teams. Luminosity, of course, started off well with that pistol, but immediately lost 3 in a row when it came to the rifles. Since then, it's been going back and forth a little bit in the latter portions of the half. But here we go into round 13. Mid control already taken quite a bit of it here for Mythic. Lex working his way into the vents, and Lex, last time I checked, IGL for this team now instead of Devilwalk. And Pit will find the opener, and that lets Lex push on through safely. He catches that steal in the bomb site with a flash out. He's probably put into a bit of a panic. Pit able to move in and take him down, but Bolt from upstairs will finally take Pit out. Puts the man with the 2K down, and it's a 4-on-3. And it's going to be a retake situation. Only Lex in the site. Devilwalk, Anchor, and XP3 all set up towards B main and Checker. Just holding on. Bolt's trying to work his way in, but Lex will catch him off guard with that quick boost onto that default box.
And again, you see the importance of having crossfires down on B. As soon as Fur falls, there's a huge gaping hole in the defense. Steel gets caught with a flash out because he's just trying desperately to get that pop out and to try and get some kills back for his team. But that one kill pretty much just sealed up this round nicely for Mythic. You can see the CTs have given up the chase here. They're backing off, want to save the AWP and the M4. How's the economy looking like for the CTs? Not great.
But they save 2 guns.
They do, so they can potentially force this up or just try and run with a Hail Mary play, get the AWPer in, hope that Fallen can land some shots. There's choices, and it seems like they are going to go for the Force full-up here, with the FAMAS with Fur. Now, this could really backfire if this round is lost, because then you're looking at Luminosity potentially going for an eco next round, and then Force buying in the last one. So Mythic could even take this 8-7 off the back of this.
Yeah, the way things just went with that buying pattern, it actually almost looks favored to be that 8-7. But of course, it's no longer that sort of Tech 9 armor force up from the terrace. That's the scariest thing. The CT force up is the real threat these days. So don't really count out the CZ and the 5-7. And still, depending on who you run into, it might be a FAMAS, an AWP, or an M4. Still a lot of rifles out there on the field as Mythic poised towards A. They actually got 2 people up in Squeaky, and Colds will be taking out one of them. That'll be XP3 to fall. Colds, though, did take quite a bit of damage for that. It's a 5v3. The Luminosity might just survive through this. Lex gets a fire kill. Bolts is very, very blind. Somehow not able to finish off Lex there. He will get it. But Anger on the trade. It won't matter. Fallen is there. Posted up with that op. Finds a 3K. Very important round for Luminosity.
That's a good point that someone just said in chat. I can't count. I was like, they're going to save next round and force... No, Vince, this is the last round. Hello, counting? We both have problems with maths on here.
Yeah,
well,
simple math live is
okay, a question
the hardest
to you,
thing ever.
Mr. NA. Why do you say math and not maths? Because it's mathematics, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
American Scrubs confirmed.
Well, you don't shorten a word to add a letter to it.
Alright, we're done.
Yeah, get wrecked. I just won. It's a good argument I came up with there out of nowhere. Wow, look at this Mythic, though, going into the last one. They don't want that 9-6 half. They want up into the lucky 7s as they would switch over to CT. Still not quite out of this round yet, but they've got the advantage. They've got one man lurking real hard. That's going to be Devil Walk over towards Squeaky Door, still trying to pin Colds and perhaps even Bolts, who is on the highway side of things, onto the site. And Pitt, who has been very, very good at opening up the B site, might be the man to go ahead and do this. Will he turn into the lurk as the bomb actually starts to shift back over towards A once again? So now it's going to be Pitt that's trying to sell this fake. He is, I mean, I would say Pitt has the better chance over towards B in a one-on-one to get the kill than Devil Walk would coming out of Squeaky. So let's see.
I agree.
Smoke coming over to A. Is Pitt going to budge? He's not quite moving yet. Looking at the minimap, and here's Colds at fence. He will bring down Devil Walk. Cannot get XP3, though. XP3 with a headshot back his way. Bolts to stop that bomb carrier, and XP3 down on 6 HP will fall with a spray through the smoke, and that leaves Pitt. Didn't actually even push out towards B at all. Just immediately started running back, and now he's left to clutch a 1 versus 2. Takes a flash to the face, but is in no danger. We'll be able to get the bomb down.
Did they not realize the bomb was on A? They backed away and completely gave up the site. I'm very surprised by that, and this is the reason why, because now you've allowed the Pitt to get on the bomb, he's going to be able to clutch as well. That seemed like an epic fail of a decision from Luminosity Gaming that just cost them huge at the end. Oh man. Those are the kind of rounds you desperately need to win as well, like 8-7 instead of 9-6.
Yeah, that is a big difference. I mean, I guess it makes sense as it's very common. I mean, you look at the pistol rounds on Cash, it's just put one guy at truck, completely give it the site, and be fine to take those retakes. But it does get a bit awkward. Like, you kind of set up the 1v1s by default when you got one at truck, one at highway, and you're going to try to push onto the bomb site. Like, Pitt peeks out one side, he gets a 1v1. Peeks out the other side, he gets a 1v1, and they kind of just go in one by one and die to Pitt, who is, I mean, probably the player you really want in that position if you're Mythic, trying to clutch it out for you. And he does it. 8-7 is the half, very close. And Luminosity, I mean, already up against the wall, having kind of got wrecked on their map pick of Overpass earlier.
I watched that back on stream afterwards because I was a bit confused as to why they'd back away from the site after the bomb was dropped on the site itself. They did see it, so I'm not sure if the call came in from Luminosity, look, let's pull back and retake the site as two. But then the fact that they go different directions, and I can't remember who the last player was alive that Pitt killed, but he had an AWP and he switched across and jumped over the toxic barrels. Like, it was just a comedy of errors from Luminosity, and who knows, maybe that's going to cost them this best of three going down the wire. Regardless, though, well played to Pitt to get that 2v1 in the first place. Now, Mythic on CT side. Let's see if they can start well. Interestingly enough, just 2 Kevlars, the rest of them going to be running with grenades.
A very important round, as it always is, going into the second half of Pistol. This one, though, it's almost a bit more fun when it's 8-7, because it's not super decisive, but it does kind of, you know, catapult you into a decent start in the second half. And look at Pitt already just walking through middle. He's about to get more information than his brain can probably handle. Boom, boom, 1, 2, and they slither off and drop.
Is he able to get a third, though? Bolts is doing his absolute best to pull this back for the Brazilians. He knows that Pitt is on the left-hand side, gets it as well. Pretty crucial frag. But all 3 Luminosity Gaming players are around 50% of their HP or below. So is Lex, however, and he is tapping across with that USP. Looks like it's going to be an A-hit. Devil Walk with a flick shot. Very nicely done. Lands onto Coldzera. That's a crucial player dead and buried for this round. 44 seconds, plenty of time to play with the terrorists. They're going to get this one planted. Now here comes the retake. Anger connects the shot onto Bolts. Lex pushes up. He gets taken down. Surely Steel cannot pull this off. He's such low HP. What a shot that was onto Anger. If he pulled that off, man, I'd have gone crazy. But instead, Devil Walk will get the defuse.
I'm pretty sure the thought process was, I think this guy's behind me. I'm going to flick my mouse as hard as I can and click. And it just happened that they were so close, it didn't really matter where he was aiming. But that was crazy. If he had managed to flick back the other way with 17 HP and win that, then 1v1 that was very brief, that would have been insane. Simply put. Surprised it even comes to being that close after what Pitt did, sneaking up behind them and taking out 2 players just like that. I mean, Luminosity was still able to fight in and get that bomb down. So all in all, it wasn't a bad pistol round. Now they'll go for some P250s, 1 Tech 9, and some smokes. And the smokes maybe here in an effort to get mid control and try to get the bomb down one more time to have a big third round. But not that big of advantage as long as Mythic keep their members alive, because they've gone for 4 rifles very early on, expecting AKs, Galils coming out into the third.
What a game this has been, though, Joey. We were expecting it to kind of be a blow-up maybe for Luminosity, but there's been so many big individual performances. Both teams have been having their moment in the spotlight as well. I think Overpass was maybe not the most entertaining map to watch from a neutral's viewpoint because of how one-sided it ended up being. But Cash has been very, very competitive indeed. Here comes a couple smokes through mid. XP3 will be backing on away. Not sure what to take from this. He's spamming through. I think he's expecting that a mid push is on, and that's the whole point of this. It's a fake. Because the majority, the bulk of the C's aggression with the bomb is coming through into A, and it is the perfect play because Lex was the lone defender. No one else was there for him. Pitt has connected the first headshot though on this retake, but still a nice little tactic there, and an eco round from Luminosity Gaming does at least get them the bomb plant.
Yeah, that was really nice. They threw not only the wall of smokes out there towards middle, or the crisscross smokes, as a lot of people will refer to them. That is probably the best name, actually, just based on the way you throw them. And then they also put the smoke up on top of the little mid-roof so that they block off access to the vent. They throw some flashes over. They are making noise a little bit as well, so XP3's got really no idea what's going on. And then they just immediately reverse and go towards A. Find that opening pick. They get the bomb down, so that's massive money. That's a full rifle round with almost all utility, only falling a little short because he's actually the one guy that did go for the Tech 9. And that would basically be that flash had he not gone for the more expensive pistol. This is going to be really big. Even still, though, Mythic didn't lose too many. And they were able to keep, yeah, only lost 1 guy, and they got a defuse. So they're doing all right themselves. Cold's setting up for some spam, but it's not working out. Doesn't connect with anybody, and Anger pushes up forward and into the vents.
He does start to have Bolt coming up and helping him out as well. At one point, he was top fragging by 10 on the CT side. Now he doesn't have to share too much of a burden, but Mythic are starting to find their form once more here. The flashbang out. Anger actually timed that slightly wrong and ends up flashing himself fully, so he can't jump on top of that and go for the peek. He has to just back away. And now in checkered, he's about to be flash pushed. I think Fallen's going to wait for that one. Turns around, but still anyway. On to Steel, get wrecked. A 1-for-1 trade, and the CTs are still in this round.
There is no justice in the world. How does Anger get that? Well, I guess justice is blind, so maybe there is justice. Maybe there's justice in Anger as he finds that shot. Fully blind. That's the man who threw the flash, too. That makes it even funnier. He will eventually go down, but he leaves Mythic in an okay position. Time is starting to run out. Two of these guys, Bolts and Fallen, are pretty low on the side of Luminosity. Oh, Lex behind the box. It will be checked out. XP3 towards middle will find Bolts, and they know that the action's going down there on B site. They'll have to go over as a team. Both Pit and Devilwalk do have kids. XP3 trying to work his way through those vents. At least keep one of those Luminosity players glued on it. Molotov into upstairs. That'll push Devilwalk back. His name's Devilwalk, but he cannot walk through fire without taking damage. Pit will bring down Cold. Now XP3 through the vent. That's going to bide the time of Fallen. Fallen will then be cleaned up by Pit, so doing a great job so far in the retake with 2 kills. Now chasing Fur around the boxes, and they will get him, and immediately onto the bomb. They should have enough time, and that will be 10-8 in favor of Mythic here.
That's a round that Luminosity needed. I'm curious to see their economy. I think they could force up if they wanted to, but it's one of those kind of on-the-brink decisions. Do you want to try and force and potentially weaken yourself long-term, or just bite the bullet, save this round, and have a solid buy-up next? I think a lot of it may come down to the idea of whether they want an AWP on their team or not, and the fact they've gone for Tech 9s with a Galil is that as well. Okay, so Cold Zero's gone for the full buy. The rest of his team are happy enough with just having Tech 9s. Interesting little dynamic there. But the way he's been playing, maybe opting for a potential clean-up from him. But look at these positions again from Mythic. Like, this is almost perfect way to fend off this B push. This could get messy really quick for Luminosity.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just running and gunning, pushing onto the B side, you almost might feel a little more confident with just the Tech 9. Although Colds, I think on Overpass, Colds actually did pull out a 4K with the Galil on that T side going in towards the B site. But even still, you would heavily favor Mythic here. Let's see if XP3, especially if XP3 hits the first shot, as he has posted up ready to do so. Anger here at the first boxes. Flashes, Molotovs going in. XP3 will miss the first shot. Now he's smoked off. There's a bit of a gap, but you got to be worried about getting pushed in through that smoke when you have the op. Anger's still hiding off in the generator. Oh, it's actually Bolts who gets that. Or sorry, XP3 who gets that. Now Anger going to find Fallen. Steel did bring down Lex. And that'll be a 4-on-3, but the bomb has been planted. Pit burning out there in the vents, and a lot of low players here from Mythic, but still, big man advantage. A lot of things to watch here for Steel and Fur. Steel will get Pit as he comes through the vents, turns around with the 180, brings down Devilwalk, pushing into the site. Fur will get Anger, who tries to get up close towards that bomb, and now it's just XP3 who will also fall through that Tech 9. 3 kills for Steel, 2 for Fur.
Phenomenal hold there from Luminosity Gaming. I think Pit was the key player in vents. As soon as he dies, it allows the terrorists to focus all their attention on the site. Up until that moment, they were caught in 2 mines. So when Pit dies, round for them. But Luminosity to hold on to that was huge. And, well, you can see how important that was. Not only did they retain all the weapons, Mythic now into an eco. So that pendulum just swinging backwards and forwards. And Mythic going for the aggressive play. I like when teams do this in pistol rounds. I like when they mix it up. Again, though, there is a slight gap in that smoke, and Colts could be getting some frags off that one. Indeed, he will. And when you see a player on pistol round pushing up mid, the chances are there's more of them hit from behind. Headshot onto Fur.
Almost awkward.
With his pants down there. That's going to be an AK across the Mythic as well.
Bolt in a very good spot, and even though Pit picked up that AK, he's got no armor, so fighting the aim punch proved a little too difficult, and once again there for XP3 will go down, so Bolt's the destroyer over here from the squeaky room will be getting them through. As that counter boost, and then the person who boosted started shooting and making so much noise at lower mid just to kind of cover the footsteps and the drop of Pit, so he gets in behind, finds that one player, and Devilwalk also going pretty sneaky, finds one of the player at the newly modified forklift here on Cash. But it's not going to be enough, unless Anger has some miraculous 1-digs.
Man, the amount of aim punch that I just saw there, brutal.
It's like I got punched.
Yeah, in the nuts. Multiple times. From Mike Tyson.
Well, at least he didn't bite anything off.
Oh my god. True, that's true. Still hurts like hell though to watch, especially right in my feels. But Mythic are going to be able to bounce back here with an AWP, albeit a pretty kind of a bare bones buy up. They have no defuse kits. They have limited grenades. And Anger going through vents from actually mid. Because it goes to show how aggressively Mythic are playing through mid. This is something I was hoping to see. And so far so good. 10 to 10.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a very back and forth game. It's been fun to watch. No more than 3 rounds in a row for either team, and that's like only off the pistols, right? Since then, it's been 1 round or 2 rounds, and that's about it. This is maybe a chance for 3 again, coming off of the pistols. And look at that, it's like symmetry on the halves. You got the CTs winning the pistol in the next 2 rounds. Terrorist, perhaps. It doesn't actually look very likely in this position that the Terrorist will get 3 in a row once again. As Mythic have done very, very well here. Kill from XP3, another one from XP3, and of course one from Pit. And Pit top fragging right now, shared with Bolds, both of them with 20 frags and 12 deaths. So very, very even, those 2 players right now.
Lex seems to realise that Colt's death was left-hand side. Peeks around. I think Colt's actually switched his weapon to maybe a flashbang or something. I'm not entirely sure there, but what a great hold. You know, I was just saying that the buy-up's not fantastic from Mythic. It's going to be a rough round for them. Finishing without a single death is just massive. And we'll force Luminosity onto a Tech 9 or 2 here. Just the one. And plenty of grenades to play with, so game on again. I love these kind of matches, Joey, where the economy is by and large okay enough for both teams to consistently get weapons. So you just have a bunch of rifle rounds back to back.
Yeah, I guess to tell you a bit more about the teams too. Like when every round, when the economy's good enough, it's back and forth, and you just get to see what the teams are made of when they have, you know, smokes and nades and rifles available to them. Instead of sometimes where you see the CTs just get like really, really messed up with their economy, and they have to like buy and then save twice and then buy and save. And like, wow, that team had 4 rifle rounds in the entire half. Like that doesn't really tell you too much, except that they got off to a really rough start and just couldn't break the cycle. But I would agree. Very back and forth, and a chance for Mythic here on this round to take a 2-round lead once again. And that would this be the biggest streak? No, right. It just got reset. 4 of the 6 rounds so far in this half, though, for Mythic.
When you look at the previous round wins, it's just back and forth constantly, like a seesaw of Counter-Strike. So both teams trying to assert their dominance here and get the streaks in their favour. Pit heavily flash, must realise his players to his left-hand side, but he's not actually checking there. He hears footsteps now. He is going to peek, and Colt's caught again. Pit's going for a second, and he's got both kills without losing much HP. Goes for third. He gets picked off, and suddenly it's LG who come out ahead with 3 frags in as many seconds and get the bomb planted. It's all an XP3 in Anger.
Wow, and Pit got so lucky to even find those 2 kills. The fact that no one decided to check that, that's the thing that people have nightmares about, you know, when your teammates don't check that like, you look into quad, but he's on the backside of it there. And here you go, with a chance on the retake, well, maybe until then, that'll leave Anger in a 1 versus 2. They'll have to quicken the pace, time starting to get low, still has to deal with 2 people. We'll find the, oh, doesn't kill him. Fallen with the Tech 9. We'll be able to take down Anger. And there it is, tied right back up, back and forth game, 11-11 here.
I feel like Mythic were a bit slow to help Pit out there. He gets 2 frags on quad, and then is still on his own for 10-15 seconds. No one was coming in, no one was pop flashing in from, no one was HEing around an MPK spot, and what can you do? Like, Pit did his job. Unfortunately, the rest of his team can't say the same there, and now Mythic are back onto another eco. So again, as they did in the last pistol round that we saw them in, they are going to push mid aggressively, but what a shot with the Galil from Furrow. XP3 was trying to get a cheeky shot, a bit of information, and it cost him his life.
Yeah, Fur originally got caught with a nade out, and then, you know, hides, pulls out the Galil and re-peeks for that ridiculous shot we just saw. And of course it is Mythic on that eco. A couple upgraded pistols, maybe hope for some 1-deeks from Pit. He does, you know, have a way with that gun. He happens to find 1-deeks quite a bit, so maybe they could get out of this round with an AK. Or even a Galil. That would be the best case scenario right now for Mythic. Alright, we're actually still a bit of a stack on the A site. Maybe if Luminosity Gaming, you know, failed to kind of grab intel across the map, they will set up for this A take, and maybe they will spring the trap. But will it work is the, I guess, even the better question.
Well, that's always the issue, isn't it? You can always have the best crossfires, the best setups in the world, but it's the execution that counts. And when you've only got pistols against
Oh, it might be working out.
It may not always work out for you, but look at this. They're making it as
Pit.
damaging as possible. If Pit lands that deagle shot, there's every chance they clutch this round. It may still be on. Bolt is on 12 HP. If it comes down to the next bullet, and Anger misses too. Very unfortunate. Bolt's just about clutching out for Luminosity. Oh man, that was so close.
And a round like that would have been a disaster for Luminosity to drop. I mean, Mythic, not just Mythic, any team on the CT side who wins on an eco is just such a big boost to the economy, and a big boost to the economy always welcome, but even more so when you start to get towards the end of a half. In a tight game like this, the CTs are going to need, kind of all that extra bonus that they can possibly get. Even still, now down by 1, it's gone the other way. Luminosity leading. XP3 with that op, but he will miss the shot and be forced to fall back. No, he's very fortunate that smoke is there. They could have got him on the retreat. They will find Anger, however. Let's deal with the ultimate frag. Now 5-on-4 for Luminosity Gaming.
Seems that Luminosity Gaming is starting to find their footing a tiny bit here. Landing shots they're missing before an XP3 misses a shot. Bolts is very low, will be cleaned up through Devil Walk. But look at this, very quick reactions from Luminosity, realizing that at least 2 players are in their location, will be rotating. Pit again was the key man. If he gets at least a frag there and pulls back, it gives Mythic all the advantages, but as it stands, it's a 3-on-2. Still enough time to re-rotate if Luminosity were feeling it, but they run out into the crosshairs, and XP3 very nearly punishes them. And that flashbang keeps Coles at bay as well. The key player now is going to be Fallen. He snakes his way through Highway. But here we go. Devil Walk connects the dots onto Coles, drops the bomb, and now he's looking for the final player. It's going to be Fallen. Can Mythic clutch this one out? Anger missed it last time around. Devil Walk is still just tapping across. He's only got 15 bullets left now to play with. Still 18 seconds. There's the Molotov onto Forklift. That will not deter Devil Walk just yet. He's actually going to back away and wait for this bomb to be planted. Fallen peeks and gets the kill onto Devil Walk. Oh my goodness, second consecutive round, Mythic let slip through their fingers.
Yeah, and Pit, we just congratulate him not too long ago for having a 20 bomb, being tied at that point with Cold Zera. But honestly, Pit's missed a couple key frags. Like, when they're all rotating over, you're catching them in transition. Like, if Pit gets 1 kill, then XP3 hits that shot. You got a 2-on-1 for Mythic over there on the A side. Instead, Pit, lets him through. He dies. There's no kill for the CTs. And even in the round previously, which you can't fault him as much for, he had a pretty good position to find that deagle kill and perhaps win them the eco, but, misses the deagle kill on the cross. That one's understandable, though, because the deagle is, after all, the deagle. Sometimes you just can't control it. Your willpower isn't strong enough to put the bullets where you want them to go. But something to know. Either way, all these rounds coming down very, very close in a game that's been very close all the way through, back and forth, back and forth. Another eco, though, here for Mythic, and Devil Walk tries to get close and personal, but first says no.
Yeah, rejected. Asking for his number. Resounding no in his face.
No.
Not today, sir. So now on this pistol round, I wonder how much that's going to play into the mentality of Mythic as well. Losing 2 rounds so close in 1v1s. That's got to sting, that's got to hurt. It's got to be difficult to shake off. Look at Steel. As Kevin brings up the map, so you can see this rotation in effect here from Luminosity. Once again, just catching Mythic off guard. And it's an eco, you're expecting him to stack. And now the bomb, the transition will be planted. Nice shot from Anger, keeping this round interesting, but the fact that Pit's been dropped just takes their chances away, and Lex misses the frag. That's going to be all she wrote for this round for Mythic. 14-11 now.
There it is. They knew where he was. They kind of expected him to be falling back. So that'll be guns. Actually, Anger finds another kill here. Looking at the money, they really do want to try to save this. Bomb's at B, so Anger needs to move out from this position. Without armor, he will probably die this close. Will he be able to actually even exit? Oh no! Steel! He's able to find him with that Galil, so XP3 will be able to hold on. No players even close to him.
Well, for those of you who just joined us, by the way, guys, it's currently 1-0 to Mythic in terms of map. So if Luminosity do hold on to Cash, which, by the way, was Mythic's choice, the map you missed was Overpass, which ended 16-8 to Mythic, we will be moving to Cobblestone, I believe, Joey?
Yeah,
I have a terrible memory. It is Cobblestone, which I feel will favour Luminosity, to be honest, overall. Especially if they can take this map away now from Mythic. The momentum will be in their favour, but Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They still have to win 2 more rounds to take us down. XP3 with the aggressive play. Triple spray down. Hello. And now Fallen and Fur, your 2 last remaining Brazilians.
More like XP3K with the spray down. There's Pit. Pit has been killless for a while, so that's gotta feel good for him to actually kill somebody. Maybe regain some personal confidence right there as Fallen. He's actually had some ridiculous pop flashes. He's trying some desperation once here, kind of ends up blinding himself, peeks out to look for the bomb, finds the bomb, but also 2 counter-terrorists. So 4 in a row was the biggest streak we've seen in the entire game so far. That was just broken here by Mythic, who will now be in a position where they're going to have to force up every single time unless they think they can get it done in OT. Obviously, they win, so they're buying here, but if they are to lose, it puts the CTs always in kind of a dilemma, right? It's like, yeah, we're CTs, the force buy percentage is fairly high, but at the same time, you know, maybe we just eco and play for the tie with rifles. That's a hard decision to make, that's for sure. But maybe they won't have to. Maybe they'll just keep on winning. They have the good chance on this round.
Yep. Bomb moving into Squeak. I'm never a huge fan of this, especially when you know that the enemy is going to have a lot of utility. It feels like a bit of a death change to me. But that being said, Fallen's still alive with the AWP and is looking for that pick, and if he can connect a couple of opening picks, there's every chance they could force onto the site itself. But he's down to 49, make that 24. He's being tagged, he has to relocate. Mythic so far, so good for them. Still have plenty of utility to play with. 2 Molotovs, 3 flashes. But it looks like Luminosity, not deterred from that previous couple of tags on Fallen, will be going back to to A once more. With all 5 players there, Fallen peeks out. Very aggressive plays, gets flashed, he has to pull back, and I feel like this rush is imminent. You know, it's going to have to come soon.
Yeah, it certainly is. They can't really back off. Although no one's really pushed out from B. And now here it finally comes. I see them hopping out towards the forklift. The flash will come. Pit still going to be on the box. Actually, a really nice angle to shut down players pushing through the forklift up on top of the box. And everyone on Mythic will stay alive. Very important round for them. And the money is... Actually, it's going to be a pause here.
Yeah.
And that's after coming out from Fallen. Their money is now the one in the awkward spot.
I like that Luminosity calls pauses. That seems like a really redundant thing to say, but the amount of times that we cast Joey and teams do not use their pause in these kind of situations where you could just, you know, take the momentum away from the enemy, discuss a few things, talk about strats that are coming up, maybe not in this round, but just the last couple rounds here. Because as you say, it's a very real chance we may see an eco come in from Luminosity and takes us to a 14-14. But that last round, I'd question a tiny bit. I feel like if you're going to base everything off Fallen getting entries and, you know, the first couple picks with the AWP, why not just try mid? Try a boost, try mid, try and run out there with pistols and just overrun that area instead of locking yourself into a close claustrophobic environment like Squeaky. I don't know, just food for thought maybe, but they are going to go for the force. They want to go for the outright win.
Yeah, so it's actually the terrorists that have to make the decision in this case. As the Mythic about to push out to 14 rounds. Here's the unpause. Okay, so we talked about the power of the pauses on Overpass earlier when Luminosity pulled out the pause, and that led in around similar to this. I think it was like 1 AK and 4 Tech 9s. And they immediately just got obliterated. 4 people sprayed down there in the connector over on Overpass. I mean, for their sake, you hope they have a better go after this pause here going into round 28.
Look at this XP3 again. We saw him do this last time and get a triple spray down. This time it's just the one onto steal. But I think they were basing a lot of him maybe causing a couple of fakes, trying to be a nuisance, a pain in the ass at the rear end of the CTs. The fact he's fallen, and the fact that seeing smokes is pretty much just telegraphed his play completely. Mythic in good position to try and repel this push. I say that the pit's down. Not quite out just yet though. Fur has to take Sanctuary behind that pillar of forklift. Walks back out again. Pit can't connect it. The bomb's being planted. Now the retake needs to come in, and there's not a great deal of utility to do that for Mythic.
Whoa, Fur. Is that Fur from... No, that's Fallen behind the forklift. I'm not even sure where Fur is, but he finds a headshot. Fallen will bring down Anger, and so suddenly this retake is looking pretty lackluster, and the force-up will work. Able to get into that A site. Smokes and a ton of Molotovs from both sides going either way. But it's the pistols, and I still don't even know exactly where Fur was.
Fallen just went ridiculous with that PT-50 on Forklift, man. He just locked down that entire side by himself with a pistol. Unreal play from him. Mythic have a good enough economy to buy straight back in. It's going to be without any defuse kits, though. Something that will be in the back of their mind. May stop them from rotating quite as fast as they'd like to. Uh-oh. Luminosity aiming, looking to push through. They do catch Lex and Pit.
No, but
were they going for a boost again?
I don't know what that was, but that looks like the most awkward play 2015.
Yeah, that was
Devil
really
Walk,
awkward.
however, on his rotation over, brings him right back into this round. That certainly looked like a disaster. It was so close back and forth the entire time, and then to have something that silly happen and possibly throw it away, and now Colds is going to be able to bring down Devil Walk. Anger's there on the site in default, and he will fall to the Tech 9, and all that ends, and we'll see the first full 3 maps of the day. It will be Cobble coming up next, and now that Luminosity rebounding here, looking a little bit better over on Cash, actually quite a bit better over on Cash. Overpass was quite a defeat. I think Mythic won that one 16-8, as it'll pop up on the screen here in just a second, or it probably already has. Yeah, it was 16-8, 16-13 on Cash for Luminosity. So it's tied up 1-1. We're going to be going over to our decider Cobble, and we do have one more best of 3 for the day with us. That will be. Sorry, people just walk in and start talking to me like I'm not doing anything. It's very nice. Like, no, cool. I'm just talking at my monitor. No one's listening. So what was I saying? Third best of 3.
It's Conquest versus Auglis, isn't it?
Oh, right, Conquest. Yeah, so that'll actually be a pretty fun one. The former sponsor list, which has members of former Temple Storm, now being picked up onto Conquest. So some big name players there up against Orglis, who have been looking very strong as well. But we'll get through the day, guys. To one game and then another best of 3 left. Going over to Cobble, a map that has been getting played a lot at all levels these days. So it's kind of welcoming to see the new kids on the block, Overpass, Cobble, and Train getting played a bit more. But we'll be back, guys. We're going to take a quick break.